Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 62 by Mirage Comics, City at War, part 13 of 13. Came out August 1993. This story was by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Script by Peter Laird and Jim Lawson. Penciling by Jim Lawson. And inks by Keith Aiken and Eric Talbot. I will say I'm bummed out that... your final issue, and you don't even have the creators do the artwork and stuff. Like, come on, man. But yeah, whatever. So here we are. This is the end. Man, this feels like a long-ass journey. This is issue number 62, but because I've done the Tales of and the micro series and stuff, this is actually the 74th video. So, wow, it's been a long-ass journey. And yeah, kind of like I said in the last issue, I expect that this one was going to be the epilogue. Basically, we just kind of see the life of everybody and, the fallout and stuff. And yeah, pretty much that's what we get. We have Casey and April and Shadow at the farmhouse. They've just gone there. At first, I thought they were going to move in there. And I'm like, why when you have the apartment building in New York? But it turns out that they're just there to pick up some things that they're going to take to the apartment. So it turns out that April did buy the apartment. Turns out that Casey and her are going to be living together, and they're now officially in a relationship. I do feel a bit cheated that I didn't get to see April's reaction to finding out that Casey has a daughter now. Like, that was one of the things that I was looking forward to seeing, just to see, that reaction. And we kind of just completely glossed over it. So we went from them meeting each other after, separating, going their separate ways for months. And then now they're in a relationship together and everything is good. I kind of wanted to see the in-between. I kind of wanted to see her reaction to discovering that Casey has a daughter and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, they're basically going around the apartments, or not the apartment. They're going around the farmhouse and they're kind of talking about things and kind of enjoying being a family. April kind of hints that once Shadow falls asleep, they're going to have sex. And then... yeah, Casey finds a knife that belongs to Leonardo, and he kind of wonders, what they're doing now. And we have the next day where April's going swimming, and then we see something grab her leg and pull her under the water. And Casey, who's sitting on not the beach side, because it's not a beach side, but he's sitting on the outskirts of the lake with his daughter, sees this and rushes to go help when the turtles throw April up into the air. So it turns out that they were there, and they were pulling a little prank on her. And everyone hugs each other. Everyone's happy. Turtles are kind of confused. You have a kid now? When the hell did that happen? How long has it been since we last saw each other? And yeah, everyone kind of fills each other in on what's going on in their lives. That, Casey explains how he reunited with April, how they're together now, how they're going to move into the apartments, how, April's father is gone. They introduce, Shadow. And then they ask, where's Donatello? Because Donatello's not in the picture. He says he's with Splinter. And then we cut to a cave where Splinter, Donatello, who's still rehabbing his injury, and the rest of the turtles, in Casey and April, are kind of chatting. And the turtles inform Donatello, hey, April and Casey and Shadow and stuff are going to go back to New York, and we're going to hitch a ride with them. Do you want to come with us? And Donatello says no, he's going to stay with Splinter because he kind of wants to reflect on everything that's happened, and he wants to give his body and his mind a chance to recuperate, and Splinter is going to help them. So they say their goodbyes, and they start going their separate ways. But right before they're about to leave, April says, can I have a few minutes alone? And she goes and she's talking into the woods, and she's basically saying I don't know if you can hear me, Splinter, but if you can, my father died recently. My dad, he raised me, taught me a lot about life, how to be a good person. I loved him. I still do. He's gone now, but the last few years, I felt that I've had two fathers, and I love them both. Goodbye, Splinter. And then Splinter comes out, and he calls April his daughter and hugs. And yeah, everything ends nice and happy with that family. And then we cut to the old man who arrives at this new apartment in a taxi, and... basically, this is going to be his new life now. And he kind of looks out the window and he's sad. And that's how it ends. So I'm like, okay, that old man story went nowhere. And I looked it up. Because I looked up what people, what the whole point of him was. And I saw this on Reddit, and it says Nate was used as an anchor point for people to see what was going on in the city outside the Turtles group. I believe Kevin Eastman talks about this in his Arto biography. Basically, he is there to show us how all the fighting and chaos is tearing the city apart. More specifically, how it is impacting the people living in the city. This guy's entire life got turned on its ear, but he had nothing to do with it and was totally unaware of the undercurrent around him. He shows us that all actions, noble or otherwise, have a ripple effect in society. Saving innocent people isn't just about fighting bad guys. And I'm like, okay, that makes some sense, but I don't like how it was dragged out for the entire 13 issues, it feels like. I don't like how that's how you ended on. I really think that if that's the message you want to convey, there are so better ways to do it. I think the point with Nate, I know his name is Mr. Bushiev, but Nate is just easier for me. I think the whole point with Nate could have been done so much better. I feel like this is just a wasted opportunity. I mean, I don't want like some twist where it turns out like he's like Shredder or something like that. I thought at first maybe that's where they were going. But if that's the message that you want to convey using him, there's better ways of doing that. I feel like they did not stick the landing when it comes to Nate. I feel like that whole thing was kind of dumb. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the old man subplots. Everything else was good though. I mean, like I said, I kind of wish I saw the relationship between April and Casey build, saw her reaction to finding out that Casey has a daughter. Because I mean, that was one thing I was really looking forward to seeing, and I feel like I got cheated out of that. I also kind of feel like they're already in a relationship. Like, I mean, I guess there was a lot of sexual tension between the two of them, possibly in previous issues. But I feel like I feel like that just seems kind of rushed. Like, just to kind of give us a happy ending. It feels like, I'm going to use a manga example. It feels like the end of Naruto. Well, where in the final chapter, like, you have people who are like in relationships and married and have kids, and some of the relationships don't make any sense. They're like, oh, these two characters spent like a total of 1 or 2 panels together in the entire series, and they're already married and have a kid. That doesn't make any sense. It feels like you're kind of shoehorning things in just to, make people happy or whatever. Not saying that the relationship is shoehorned in, because, like I said, it feels like it's been developing, but I feel like we just kind of jump right to it, and we don't actually get to see the start of it. We're already just in the process. Like, we go from her leaving on her own because Casey wants to be in a relationship with her to, oh, they meet up again by accident, and then now they're already in a relationship. Like, I kind of would have liked to see it start again, if that makes any sense. I feel like the thing with Splinter was kind of didn't go anywhere. I mean, they did point out that something happened to Splinter and he doesn't want to talk about it. And then that's kind of it. And I don't know if by the time this issue came out, there was already plans to do a volume 2, or if this was going to be the end.
A few moments later.
So I looked it up, and it turns out that volume 2, issue 1 came out December 1993. So that's only a couple months after this. So I guess volume 2 was already decided. So okay, I guess that makes sense. But yeah, because it feels like it feels like volume 1 should have been like wrapping up everything and tying up every loose end, and they left the Splinter thing open ended. I kind of would have liked to get closure with that, but I guess if they already decided to have a volume 2, then I guess it kind of makes sense to not wrap that up. But yeah, other than that, I really don't know what to say. I thought this was a good issue. I mean, a good issue to end on. Everyone's kind of happy and things like that. Leave everything on a good note. So that's good. Artwork, again, I really would have loved it if Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird did the artwork for the final issue themselves and not hand it off to other people. I feel like that was kind of my pet peeve of the City at War, is that they didn't really... In fact, the whole Ninja Turtles run, how many issues did Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman actually illustrate themselves? Not that many, it feels like. Feels like pretty much everything was done by other people. I don't know. I don't want to call that lazy, because I'm sure they were busy with other projects and stuff, but it does kind of sadden me that the creators of this series couldn't really, I don't want to say be bothered to draw, because that sounds just a bit too negative, but couldn't find a way to illustrate more issues, especially the ending. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I would say this. Let's judge this series overall. Overall, I'm glad that I read Volume 1. I'm glad that, like, as a huge, I've said this before, said numerous times, I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan, but I've done like pretty much everything but read the actual comics. I mean, I watched all the cartoons from the original to the 2003 to the CGI. I didn't watch Rise of Ninja Turtles because that just looks like crap. I watched a couple episodes and I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. I watched all the movies, even the crappy Michael Bay ones. I will say that the CGI one was actually really freaking good. That was a really good movie. And of course, the original live action movie is fantastic. Even the second one's not that bad. Third one was not the strongest, but the first one was freaking phenomenal. I played like every single video game, including the iPhone games and stuff. I've read the Archie comics. I read, and then, as you guys can see, I read the Urban Legends, which is later Volume 3, which got retconned and stuff. And I've read some of the IDW stuff. But I never read the original Mirage run. And now I finally have. And I'm glad that I did, because it was really enjoyable. I will say that the guest era hurt it a lot. And I mean a lot. If it wasn't for the guest era, if I were to take out all the guest era comics and just have the canon issues and just that, this would be like a perfect series for me. This would probably be the first series that I ever give a 10 out of 10. I've never given any series, even my favorite, comic book franchise, I wouldn't give a 10 out of 10. This could have been a 10 out of 10. That's how great it was. Like all the canonical stuff, especially the stuff written by Kevin Eastman and things and Peter Laird. Like all those issues were freaking fantastic. But the guest era stuff hurt it so bad. It really just dragged this series down. And yeah, so I would say if there's anybody out there who has never read the Volume 1, the original comics, look up the canon stuff and just stick to that. As far as I know, I think there might be a collection that has just the canon issues and doesn't have any of the guest era stuff. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think there is. If there is, get your hands on those and just read those. Skip every guest era, skip every non-canon stuff. I mean, like I said, there are some good guest era issues out there, but overall, it drags way too long. I mean, you got like a fantastic beginning, and then you got like 20 to 30 issues of just nonsense, of just non-canon stuff before you come back to finish it off with the City at War. So guest era really, really hurt the hell out of this series, out of this volume. Would have been so much better without it. But overall, I am really glad that I read this volume. Thought it was really good. The canon stuff, the guest era stuff, it was really hit or miss. Some of them were really good. Some of them were really terrible. Some of them were just like forgettable. But yeah, this was great. I loved doing this. If you guys want to see me continue with Volume 2, I mean, let me know by getting these videos, views and hitting that like and stuff. If I see interest in it and interest in this series, then I'll do it. If not, then I might just read it personally on my own and not do any reviews. We'll see. Because for anyone who wants to know, I did this entire thing without ever uploading any of them yet. So at the time of this recording, you guys are already seeing, all the previous videos and stuff. But at the time of this recording, I haven't even uploaded the video for issue 1 yet. So I don't know how this series is going to do at all. I have no idea if this is going to be good or not. I have no idea if this was a giant waste of time on my part when it comes to recording and editing all these videos. I have no idea because I read all this and I recorded all this before I even uploaded the first video. So this is going to be news to me. I have fingers crossed that you guys actually enjoy this and that it gets me a lot of views and subscribers and likes and stuff. So if that's the case, if that happens, then yeah, if you guys want Volume 2, I'll give you a Volume 2. If I don't see that, then I probably won't, because this was cost me a lot of time to do. Not just reading, because you know you can read an issue pretty quickly, but having to do all the recordings and all the editing and stuff. But yeah, there you go. Wow, I don't know what else to say. I know I'm kind of rambling, but I mean, this is it. This is like the final for this giant series that is that consists of 74 videos. So I kind of don't want it to be too brief. I kind of wanted to, you know, give a little bit of a breakdown of it. So there we go. The ends. Once again, I enjoyed it. Minus the guest era stuff. I think the guest era stuff hurt it a lot. If it wasn't for the guest era stuff, I think this could have been the perfect series. It was that great. It was like the canon issues were phenomenal. The guest eras were hit or miss. But I enjoyed doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. And if you did, again, please like, subscribe. Feel free to comment down below. Share this out there. If I see, like I said, if I see a lot of interest in this series, then I will continue with Volume 2. And if Volume 2 gets a lot of interest, then I might, you know, just keep continuing. But if not, then this will be it. So it's up to you guys. You guys are the final decision makers. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you guys with the next video, whatever that may be. Take care, everybody. Later. And cowabunga. So what'd you guys think of that video? Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell for a notification, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't enjoy the video, thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next video is more to your liking. Feel free to check out the playlist that you guys see, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.